When you had to, what you said you don't drink anymore, did you have to go through like a process to stop drinking, or it was like an easy one for you?
It wasn't easy, and it's still not easy, but I just stopped because I was like drinking every day. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really a problem. I was just like, it was definitely going to become one. I mean, it was like, it was like anytime I was in a bar, I was getting hammered, and we work in bars. Yeah. And there was a point where I was like 8-9 years into stand-up, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this without drinking and getting drunk. I don't know if I could get on stage without getting drunk. And I was like, I know for sure that's a problem. And now I couldn't even imagine trying to do that.
I feel like drinking problems definitely sneaks up on you, because I started having them very young as well. Like I remember I was, oh God, like 21, 22. I started drinking at 19 because I had an ID that my like someone that looked absolutely nothing like me. It was like this girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. And she was like, and back then they weren't that serious about that stuff. And she's like, hey, I just turned, 21 or whatever. I don't need my old ID. Like you can just have my old one and you can go drink. And I was like, sure. And like I used it everywhere and nobody ever questioned it. They just looked at the date and looked at me and they're like, all right, good enough. And
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started drinking at 19, and by the time I was like 22, I remember like, holy shit, this sneaks up on you. I used to go to this bar in my town that was like this total dive bar, and I would go there just to like to make like it sounds so arrogant or something, but to like make fun of the people. I'd go there, let's see all the weird drunks at the dive bar. But then at some point, like my drink was waiting for me, and the people next to me were like, Andrea, great to see you. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I become them. Like, holy shit. Like it just,
you become a barfly.
Yeah. It just like sneaks up on you. And I'm like, how, like, I think I have a drinking problem. Like you don't, you don't think about it, and it just kind of sneaks up like that,
Yeah. I remember I was tossing it around. I was like, I think I want to stop. I don't know. But if I'm like thinking that all the time, then it's like, I probably should stop. And then like, I would go to therapy and he'd be like, why don't you stop? And I go, because I want to have fun and I don't want to blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you get really defensive about stopping. That seems like a red flag. And I was like, oh yeah, probably. But that's more about a freedom thing in my eyes. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. It goes
back to the authority thing, right?
Exactly. But I miss it. I still miss it. I'm like, every day I'm like, you could probably drink. And I could go right back to what I was doing, but it would probably ruin my life.
So I actually stopped drinking also, but I didn't have to go through a process either. Like I didn't have to go to AA to quit drinking or anything like that. But I actually just stopped because I'm 35 now, and I just get like terrible hangovers now.
Oh,
like
hangovers are brutal.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I used to get them when I was younger and just was able to like tolerate it better. But nowadays, like I can't even enjoy just one drink for the taste of it, because I like sometimes like the taste of a glass of wine or like a good beer.
Right.
I can't even like enjoy that. Like I'll have one and I'll have my hangover before the next day. Like I'll have my hangover. Yeah. Like I'll wake up like in the middle of the night or like right as I'm about to go to bed, and I'll already feel the hangover.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Like, yeah, for me, it wasn't like, it was like easy to quit because I was like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want, so.
It also like, it gets to a point where like, there is like this, for me, I had to pick this fork in the road where it was like, I don't think I could be a productive, stand-up comedy, making it your day job, not your day job, but making like a living doing it and supporting yourself and whatever is really hard. And it would have been so much harder if I was drinking and I was staying out till like 3, 4, 5 a.m., getting hammered, being hungover the next day, like not writing, not performing well. It just wasn't good. Some people could do it though, and I'm so jealous of those people.
How many years in your stand-up career did you break out of like the day job and just do solely comedy?